Wild Card Sunday. 4 teams, 2 spots. Whose eyes are set on the Lombardi? Brett's pack tries to overcome the nightmarish end in '98.
He caught it!
Niners repeat. Over Green Bay continue their unbeaten streak at Lambeau. Last year's champs with a wild card surprise. They return to the Big Dance while the Dolphins try to move on in the AFC. We'll tell you which team survived another Sunday. Please, congrats for success. Next on NFL Primetime.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to Wild Card NFL Primetime. Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson. And we were reminded how, and you mentioned it yesterday, how tough it is to be a road team to win. On Saturday, home teams putting the hammer down by about halftime. Could one of these very capable wild card teams break through on the road?
Well, I think nothing atypical about what we saw in the playoffs today. The Packers are the Packers in Lambeau Field, and we have to remember the defending champions are just that until dethroned.
Yes, it's amazing how until you take the crown off, they look a little bit different. But we begin where the scene of so much football history over the years, and certainly if you think about even NFC football in the 90s, Niners, Packers, both back at 12-4. But there's this thing about home playoff games at Lambeau Field, like the Pack lifetime 10-0, Brett Favre impregnable when the 34 degrees or below. Here we go to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. It sounds good to say it. It looks good to see number 4 in the playoffs. And his one-time position coach, Steve Mariucci, once on Mike Holmgren's staff in Green Bay. Now, of course, with the Niners. And the first play was going to be a swing pass to Garrison Hearst. But, boy, all of a sudden, Gilbert Brown making his presence felt.
Yeah, Brown and Garcia get their face mask stuck, but I think that the injury done to Garcia had a lot more to do with the 360 pounds that Gilbert Brown weighs.
Although the face mask went through Garcia's face mask, he had a pretty good cut. Second series on offense for Green Bay, and they're moving. Amon Green for 10 yards. Later in the drive, 3rd and 1 to the 5. Favre to Antonio Freeman, touchdown. They missed the extra point, but the Pack in Lambeau, here we go again, 6-0 Green Bay. Late minute of the first quarter, Favre, but he throws one up. He just kind of lofted it up there. Ahmed Plummer. See, you can get a plumber when you need one. First interception of Favre in 4 games. One of the fine young corners of the Niners doing it. But then, Leroy Butler's hurt, Bud.
Yeah, Darren Sharper in his spot. He gets up at the line of scrimmage. He's gonna blitz. Does a great job right there, sacking Garcia.
So it forced him to kick a 34-yard field goal, but Jose Baby Cortez blocked by Cledius Hunt. Cortez's kicks, he's kicked XFL, and his kicks are 40, 45 games. His kicks are low. And so it's blocked, and the score remains the same. 7 minutes to go in the half. Curl to J.J. Stokes from Jeff Garcia. 3rd and 3 at the 44. Garcia to Ty Street's first down. Then, time for another pass, time for another receiver. Garcia to tight end Eric Johnson from Yale. 13 yards, first down. 2 minutes to go in the half. Next play, Garcia you don't hear from him often, Tom's third cousin, Terry Jackson, 19 yards, it's a first down. Minute 3 to go, play action on 3rd and 2. Garcia, the heck with the injury, it's a first down. Now 2nd and goal with 15 seconds left. Garrison Hearst, touchdown, a 15-play, 86-yard drive that took up almost 7 minutes. Kick is good, and the Niners lead at the half on the road, 7-6. After a long well field goal makes it 9-7. Play 3rd, Favre. Corey Bradford. Webster had to defend it well, but didn't find the ball. And while the Niners are figuring out what they should have done, the next play, it's almost Tom Sing like it's off a turnover. Favre smells the jugular. Bubba Franks, 19 yards. 2-point conversion failed. Interesting, and so it's 15-7.
10th touchdown this year for Bubba Franks.
So here come the Niners. Screen pass to Garrison Hearst. What a block by Pro Bowler Ray Brown. 22-yard reception. Next play, Hearst starting to feel it a little bit. 12 yards, first down. Later in the drive, 30 to watch everybody coming, but Garcia hangs it up to Ty Streets of San Francisco. Carl Malden couldn't have done it better. Touchdown.
Jamal Reynolds going to blitz here. Great job of blitz pickup by Garrison Hearst. Work inside, outside, like the outside guy go, and depend on the quarterback Garcia to get rid of it.
And it was so much fun to watch the streets of San Francisco that going for two. Garcia finds streets open. Hey, tie game. 15 all, 12 minutes left. But here is Brett Favre on 3rd and 8. Zing to a leaping Donald Duke and the drivers. First down. Then on the drive near midfield. Avon Green hit 12 yards for a first down. From the 41, Favre, time, dumps to Antonio Freeman, 13 yards. Then the Niners bring some heat. It's Julian Peterson from the left side, sacks him. 45-yard field goal attempt, puts it back to that. But Ryan Longwell, long enough. 18-15, the Pack. But this can go either way. Under 7 to go. Jeff Garcia, what a great cup in Canada. Throwing well in the cold at J.J. Stokes, 9 yards. Then on a Packer blitz, Garcia to Streets. First down. And the play of the game right here. Terrell Owens, deep right sideline route, but Mike McKenzie tips it to Tyrone Williams. The McKenzie brothers. It's the great play of the game that saves the day. The Niners could have gotten in top.
A nice route by Owens. Ball slightly underthrown. Mike McKenzie really made a great play on the ball, and Tyrone Williams the awareness to pick it up on the interception.
But it's still just a three-point game. Remember, 18-15. And so at their own 7, Amon Green starts it out and a face mask. So a first down run and a face mask. Gets him to the 35. Corey Bradford makes a one-handed catch and stays in. So 40 more seconds. Now watch this 3rd and 7. Zing! Like a Randy Johnson fastball to Freeman, 20. Tuck the ball at Antonio, 25 yards. Then on 3rd and 6 again. 3rd down, 1 pump, 2 pumps. Oh, he completes it to Donald Driver. 3rd down completions. 2 minutes to go. 1st and goal at the 9. Green. Bay, touchdown. Amon Green for the Pack. 25-15 on a 93-yard touchdown drive. Terrell Owens wondering what could have been. Favre saluting the faithful. And boy, they should be faithful. Brett Favre, now 31-0, where the temperature is 34 degrees and under. By the way, it was 25 today. He's 6-0 at home in the playoffs. The Packers beat the 49ers in the game we thought would be the best of the 4, 25-15. Brett Favre says, us, home, confidence.
I was 100% sure going into this game we would win, and I was 100% sure throughout the game we would win. I know what I'm capable of doing. I know what this team's capable of doing. I know that I can control one thing on the field, and that's the way I play. That's what they paid me to do, and I love to do it. And you know, put it on my shoulders.
Our football team has given 49er land all the excitement and entertainment and hope and thrills that one season can bring. It was a fantastic year that way. Our sights are set high. We're back to that standard of getting to the top. And that's why there's so much disappointment, because we feel we're so close. We really are.
Time and time again, people are telling me I'm the best player on this team, and you know, I challenged myself to put the game on my shoulders today, and like I said, I didn't get enough opportunity, you know, to get the ball. I mean, I've worked too hard, man. I want to be the go-to guy on this team, and you know, whoever's calling the plays, they're just not giving me the opportunity, and I just really feel bad, man. BY, emotion off the game, we've come too far, man, and I feel like offensively, we didn't do the things we needed to do to put the points on the board.
Well, understandable. T.O. a little upset, but, you know, 8 different receivers caught balls from Garcia, who was 22 of 32 for 233. If that was a touchdown, it might have been a totally different feel, but it wasn't. Instead, it's the Packers and Brett Favre who made the big plays, 22 of 29 for 269. Antonio Freeman ought to know.
Thanks, Boomer. The Packers remain undefeated in playoff games at Lambeau Field. One of the reasons Antonio Freeman seemed like in the second half, you guys really attacked them more, a lot more 3 wide receiver formations. Were you more aggressive in the game plan in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we had a tough halftime. Guys were really down in halftime, and Brett spoke up and wondered why we weren't passing the ball a lot. Second half, we came out. They let Brett throw the ball. He made great decisions. Our playmakers made big plays all game, from our tight ends to our backs to our receivers. And that's the type of effort we're going to have if we want to stay in the playoffs, is everybody contributing, and today we had that.
Well, you seemed to crush them after they made the key turnover, Mike McKenzie deflecting a ball to Tyrone Williams, and then you make the big third down conversion. Did you feel like that won the game at that point? Yeah,
that's kind of what I felt. I mean, we were sitting in the huddle, and Brett said, we need this play right here, and it's over. And when I caught the ball, that was what my emotions told me, that it was over, so I reacted accordingly.
All right, Boomer, back to you.
Ed Werder, thank you very much. Tommy, he's still a little boy playing a man's game, and he is a man. I don't care who you root for. I don't care if you're pulling for the Packers or the Niners or whatever. If you can't enjoy those third down after third down after third down, and he told us earlier this year, man, I'm just happy I could throw the ball that hard. Brett Favre and the whole team gets on his back, and you see what happens, another win.
Yeah, we'll talk about the quarterback in a minute, but I think that you heard it from Antonio Freeman. It was a complete team effort. And think about the guys, Bubba Franks, Corey Bradford, Donald Driver, the offensive and defensive line. And I think really if there was a question mark for the Green Bay Packers, it was their defense against the run. And Gilbert Brown made the difference early on in the football game when they were setting the tone. Now, when you start talking about the Green Bay Packers and their play at Lambeau, it has a lot to do with Brett Favre. We're going to show you this play again. This is going to your third read here. He pumps to the left. He pumps to the right. He starts to step up into the pocket. He's one of the few guys who can deliver that ball, stepping up into the pocket and getting hit. And then look at the numbers. It really was a tale of two halves. The first half, 6 for 8, 43, a touchdown and an INT. But as Brett Favre can do, he gets hot. 16 of 21, 226, and a touchdown. He dominated the second half of the football game. And then the San Francisco 49ers, what an outstanding year they've had. I thought that was reflected in their play today. And then certainly, I think next year will be their year.
Well, they were a year ahead of schedule, Bud. Steve Mariucci, after the game, said also what you didn't see here. Hey, we came here to end this hex. And they almost could. They were, at least until this point, the road team that had a chance. They will get better. They will learn from this experience, but they also will know what Brett Favre can do. And Jeff Garcia watching from the other sideline, and he knows that, you know what? Sometimes you got to be a little bit superhuman at certain times, as Favre was on this day. Favre has now gone 11 straight postseason games with at least one touchdown pass. Only Dan Marino, who went 13 straight games when he was just a pup, from 83 to 85, only Dan Marino has done it better.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
The late game saw the chance trying to run through Miami. And would Elvis have a hit tune, or would he be all shook up? Well, I think these pictures give you a hit. Second game, the last of the four, the defending champion Baltimore Ravens and Brian Billick against Dave Wannstedt and the Dolphins, 7-1 at home this year. Opening kickoff, and here's Miami's offense. They're going to get a fumble from Jermaine Lewis, who's, very good Pro Bowl return man, and Miami in business at the 24, right out of the chutes. So on 1st and 10, Ray Lewis and company already going to be tested. Jay Fiedler. But look at Jamie Sharper. What a good day for the Sharper family on defense, Tom. Jamie and Darren, no gain. Lamar Smith, 1 is an accident, 2 is a tackle. He's tackled by Lewis for a 2-yard gain. Fiedler on 3rd and 8 tries to pick up the first down. He's stopped short by Lewis. It's a field goal. Mare, 3-0 Miami. Marvin Lewis's defense doing it again. Later in the first, Matt Turk punts it into the end zone, but then gets involved in a scrum between him and Edgerton Harwell. Edgerton Harwell, why? Harwell was punching Miami teammate Twan Russell. Harwell ejected, ball penalty, put back at the 10-yard line. So in a 3-0 game, let's see. Passing offenses go to different receivers. What do the running offenses do, Tom? That was Mo Williams.
Yeah, this was a defining drive. You saw Mo Williams right there. Then Jason Brookins up the middle for 7 yards. Terry Allen getting into the mix. He busts up the middle for 13-yard gain. And you see the yards after the initial hit. Finally, the direct snap to Jermaine Lewis will gain 5 yards. And even Elvis Gerbach, the quarterback. Don't throw it, just run it. 4 yards. 5 different runners. This drive, I thought, exemplified what the Ravens wanted to do.
And then Terry Allen, here's a man that knows the end zone. 90-yard drive. Booyah! The first career booyah on the sidelines for Ray Lewis, and the Ravens have a 7-3 lead. Gerback, hey, wait a minute. It's 3rd and 1 from your own 8. It's a 7-3 game in the third, and that's a 44-yard pickup to Travis Taylor. 2 plays later, it's Taylor again. Reverse, 15 yards so from their own 10. The Ravens say, no, Miami, you got a good defense, but we're going to move it on you. And bless my soul, nothing wrong with me. Elvis to Taylor. Touchdown. 14-3, Baltimore. Miami trying to get in it. Here's the original booyah. Peter Boulware knocks the ball out. Ravens recover. Field goal, 17-3. Miami, and even when they're good, are you kidding me? That's a touchdown if James McKnight, A, catches it, B, doesn't dive for it. Instead, Dwayne Starks picks it off, struts, leads to a field goal. Quite impressive, to say the least. Baltimore Ravens, 20-3 in Miami, who again were 7-1 at home this year. But Baltimore starting to get that head of steam. Terry Allen in the end zone. He's with the hammer.
Terry Allen had over 100 yards rushing today, and Terry, your coach said you were going to go back to the kind of football that the team played last year, and you were the key guy running the football.
Well, that's the formula that got him there last year, and it seemed to work for him, so I think it's going to work out for us good again.
He had those 2 drives of 90 and 99 yards against a very good defense. Could you feel it as those drives were in process that things were on the right track for you guys?
Yeah, you really could. The offensive line got into a rhythm up there, and we knew it was going to be hard for them to stop our run game once those guys got started.
Is the swagger back for this team?
It's definitely back.
Okay, thanks, Terry. Let's go back to the studio.
Hammer, Terry, thank you. You know, they were 9-6. They lost to Tampa Bay, and then I think Brian Billick said, can you get me that 2000 dossier, that folder? Okay, let's see here. Let's see.
That one worked pretty good.
Run the ball, really great defense. No, don't turn it over, pass once deep, only when necessary. Let's try this plan.
You know, Elvis Gerbach played well today, but they have been Dilferized again. This is a game of not turning the ball over. They only had the fumble on the initial kickoff of the game. They play outstanding run defense. They guard against the big play, and today they ran the football for over 200 yards. They had one drive of 90 and another drive of 99 yards. Now, I'm not naive enough to have forgotten what happened last year. See, 19-3 to get into the playoffs, 23 in the wild card round of the playoffs. This looks very similar to what they were able to do last year. And then the time of possession, 38 minutes to 22.
50 carries for 226?
Unbelievable.
It's like right?
It's like a high school game. I said a good high school going against a bad high school.
And the leading rusher for Miami, Jay Fiedler, with 16 yards. So Baltimore now, 4 playoff games last year, 1 this year heading to Pittsburgh. 1 offensive touchdown allowed on the opening drive of the Tennessee game last year. Yikes. When we come back, game balls, coaching news, and more. Set you up for the divisional round. Stay with us.
Time, presented by Miller Lite.
Boomer, my game ball goes to the Ravens offensive line. You mentioned the 50 carries, the 226 rushing yards, only 1 sack allowed against Elvis. An outstanding day for that unit.
Did someone say Elvis? Is Brett Favre not really Elvis? Certainly. There he is. Elvis leaving the building after another victory in the postseason at Lambeau Field. Well, plenty of foot certainly in the coaching carousel. Chris Mortensen is reporting that Marty Schottenheimer, coach of the Redskins, has been summoned to an evening meeting Sunday night. Right now, we're really with Daniel Snyder, the owner. He could be out as soon as tonight or tomorrow. And a deal with Steve Spurrier, 5 years, $25 million, is imminent. Mort has been on this story as well. Len Pasquarelli, ESPN.com, also contributing, reporting that Tony Dungy's firing in Tampa Bay could happen within 48 hours. And Bill Parcells' hiring could be announced within 5 to 7 days, as Parcells apparently is putting together a staff. Our 2 cents says that there are openings around football, and if Tony Dungy would like one of those, he certainly will be a candidate if he would like it this year, if this indeed goes down in the next 48 hours as reported. When we return, we get set for the divisional rounds. And now the big boys step up. We'll be back.
Time is presented by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
So here we are in the divisional round. Saturday night at what certainly will be frosty Foxborough. The Raiders and the Patriots 25 years after that epic playoff game that they had. The Sugar Bear Hamilton Phantom Call in Oakland in 1976. And the Baltimore Ravens, the champs, keep on chugging to Pittsburgh. They won there this year. Chris Brown kicking trouble. They've won there the last 3 years. So tight on paper as we start. But what a contrast in that first game.
Well, I certainly think the Raiders and the Patriots will be a great chess match. John Gruden and that offense, Jerry Rice playing so well against the ability to scheme of Bill Belichick and his New England Patriots. And then you look at the Ravens and the Steelers, a slugfest that I think Cordell Stewart may be the X factor. He's able to do the things that Donovan McNabb is able to do for the Eagles. He can improvise.
The B factor is the bus. Jerome Bettis to be back for the first time in fresh wheels,
whatever,
tires, snow tires perhaps. In the NFC, boy, the defensive team stayed on this side of the bracket. Eagles at Bears, Saturday afternoon at Soldier Field. And then the gunslinger, Brett Favre, at the team that's the all-time gunslinger, the St. Louis Rams. That's the late game on Sunday. Marshall Faulk said, what team could give you the most trouble? He said, us, meaning if they turn the ball over. But if they do, and Brett Favre, I know Brett struggles in domes, but we want.
I don't care what his record is in domes. Brett Favre can play with anybody offensively when he's playing well. That makes that a great offensive shootout. And I think when you talk about the Eagles and the Bears, defensively, first team to 14 is going to win the football game.
They each average giving up 13. Eagles give up like 13 a game, and the Bears 12.8-ish. Hey, we'll talk about it Saturday and Sunday. Are you ready, Tom?
I'm ready.
A Saturday edition of Countdown at 11 a.m. for an hour. Then NFL Tonight at 3, prime time at midnight Saturday. Sunday will be 11:30 at a regular prime time. It's the division. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching NFL Primetime. Then there were 8.
NFL Primetime is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.